Picture this. You wake up and realize everything you've known is a mere illusion, a constructed reality. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? But let's delve into this. Philosophically speaking, the nature of reality and our perception of it has been a subject of debate for millennia. It makes us question, can we really trust our senses? Our senses, after all, are not infallible. They can be deceived, manipulated, and even distorted. This brings us to the concept of a simulated reality. A reality that is not what it seems, but a carefully constructed illusion. A universe running on a cosmic computer, if you will. It's an idea that's been explored in science fiction, but also pondered by philosophers and scientists alike. Now, we're not going to dive too deeply into this concept just yet, but it's worth keeping in mind as we continue. This leads us to wonder, could we be living in a simulated reality? To understand the concept of a simulated reality, we must first visit the works of the ancient philosopher Plato. He presented a thought experiment that has long since intrigued thinkers and philosophers, the allegory of the cave. Imagine a dimly lit cave where prisoners have been held since birth. These prisoners are chained, forced to face the cave's wall with no sight of the outside world. Their reality is limited to the shadows cast on the cave wall by objects moving behind them, lit by a fire they cannot see. These shadows are their truth, their reality, their entire world. But what happens when one prisoner is freed? This prisoner, initially blinded by the light, eventually adjusts and begins to see the world for what it truly is. A place filled with colors, textures, and forms, far more complex and beautiful than mere shadows on a wall. Overwhelmed by this revelation, the freed prisoner returns to the cave, eager to share this newfound knowledge. But the cave prisoners reject these revelations. They cling to their shadow reality, unable or unwilling to comprehend a world beyond their cave. Plato's allegory of the cave is a profound commentary on human perception and knowledge. It posits that our understanding of reality is limited by our experiences and perceptions, like the prisoners confined to the shadows on the cave wall. It suggests that there may be a greater reality beyond our comprehension, a reality that we might see as an illusion because it contradicts our limited understanding. By venturing beyond the cave, the freed prisoner challenges the accepted reality, paving the way for enlightenment. But this enlightenment is often met with resistance, as it disrupts the status quo and forces one to question long-held beliefs. The allegory of the cave raises questions about our perception of reality and our ability to discern truth from illusion. It makes us ponder, are we the prisoners in the cave, mistaking shadows for reality? Or are we the freed prisoner, aware of a greater truth yet unable to convince others of its existence? Now, how does an ancient philosophical allegory relate to modern simulation theory? Well, let's delve into that. Plato's allegory of the cave centers on prisoners shackled in a cave since birth, with their perception of reality limited to the shadows cast on the cave walls by objects behind them. These shadows are their reality. They know nothing else. In many ways, this is strikingly similar to how simulation theory perceives our existence. In the context of the theory, we are the prisoners and the cave is our universe. The shadows on the wall, they represent our perceived reality. Just like the prisoners, we might be unaware that our reality is potentially a mere projection, a simulation created by a higher intelligence. In Plato's allegory, one prisoner eventually breaks free and is initially blinded by the outside world's sunlight, a world outside the cave, a world of truth, a world that is the actual reality. Over time, this prisoner adjusts to this new reality and realizes that his previous existence was merely an illusion, a shadow of the truth. This enlightenment mirrors the potential revelation we might experience if we were to discover that we live in a simulation. It would be a shocking realization followed by an adjustment period and ultimately acceptance of this new perspective on reality. The truth in this case would be the realization that our universe is a simulation, and the real reality exists outside this simulation, just as the real world existed outside the cave for the freed prisoner in Plato's allegory. This parallel illustrates how the seeds of simulation theory were sown centuries ago in the minds of ancient philosophers like Plato. It shows us that questioning our reality and seeking the truth are not novel ideas. They're as old as human thought itself. Just as the freed prisoner in Plato's allegory, could we too be oblivious to a reality beyond our perception? So, what exactly is this simulation theory? At its core, simulation theory is a contemporary spin on an age-old philosophical question. What is reality? This theory posits that the world we perceive around us may not be the base reality, but rather a highly advanced simulation created by a higher civilization. Think about the rapid pace of technological development. In just a few decades, we've gone from Pong and Pac-Man to photorealistic, three-dimensional video games that are indistinguishable from reality. We've created virtual and augmented reality systems that can fool our senses into believing that we're somewhere else. Now imagine what a civilization millions of years more advanced than ours could accomplish. This is where simulation theory gets interesting. If a future civilization has the power to create a perfect simulation of reality, how would we know if we're living in the base reality or in one of these simulations? The unsettling answer, according to the theory, is that we probably wouldn't. Every sight, sound, smell, touch, and taste we experience could be the result of a computer code fed into our brains by this advanced civilization. Our memories, our thoughts, our very consciousness could all be part of the simulation, with no way for us to distinguish them from real experiences. But why would a superior civilization do this? The reasons could be many. They might be running an experiment to understand their own past, or perhaps they're testing various scenarios to predict their future. They could even be using the simulation for their entertainment, like we use video games. The implications of simulation theory are profound. It challenges our understanding of existence, consciousness, and reality itself. It forces us to question not just what we know, but how we know it. In essence, simulation theory suggests that we are living in a high-tech version of Plato's cave. But who believes in this theory, and why does it hold any merit? Some of the most brilliant minds of our time lend their voices to the discourse on simulation theory. Renowned physicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, for instance, holds the view that there's a better-than-even chance we're living in a simulation. He bases his belief on the rapid advancement of video game technology, suggesting that given enough time, it's entirely plausible that an advanced civilization could create a simulation indistinguishable from our reality. Then there's Elon Musk, the tech titan, who asserts that the odds are 1 in billions that we're not living in a simulation. He points to the exponential growth of technology, which could theoretically enable future civilizations to run ancestor simulations, much like an ultra-realistic video game of life. Philosopher Nick Bostrom, too, adds fuel to the simulation theory fire. He posits that at least one of the following propositions is true. Human civilization will go extinct before reaching a post-human stage. Post-human civilizations are not interested in running ancestor simulations, or we are almost certainly living in a simulation. The philosophical implications of simulation theory are profound. If we are indeed living in a simulation, it challenges our notions of existence, consciousness, and reality itself. It raises questions about free will, about the nature of our creators and their intentions, and about the meaning and purpose of life. Are we just characters in an elaborate game, or do our choices and experiences hold genuine value? Moreover, if our reality is indeed a simulation, it lends credence to the idea that there could be multiple or even infinite realities, each with its own rules and logic. This opens up a Pandora's box of existential and metaphysical questions that we are only beginning to grapple with. As we delve deeper into the digital age, the lines between reality and simulation continue to blur. In conclusion, the question remains, are we still in the cave, or have we stepped out into the sunlight? Just as Plato's cave dwellers grappled with the shadows, we too wrestle with the concept of reality. From the ancient allegory of the cave to the modern theory of simulation, the quest for understanding our existence remains a constant. In this journey, we've examined the intriguing intersection of philosophy and technology. We've ventured into the realm of simulation theory, a concept that challenges our perception of reality. We've heard from modern scientists, philosophers, and thinkers who propose the idea that we might just be part of an intricate simulation. Yet the answers are not clear-cut. They prompt us to question, to explore, and to remain open to possibilities. This is the very essence of philosophy, to seek understanding without settling for the obvious. Whether we live in a simulation or not, it's clear that our perception of reality is far more complex than it seems at first glance.